Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Supreme Minority, and today we are going to talk about tips to optimise your attitudes. So, there will be a little bit of a story with this as well. So do you ever feel that you might struggle to reach high and optimal performance, mentally, physically, emotionally? Then if so, your attitude could be in the way. Studies do show that there is a positive correlation when considering having a positive attitude and someone's optimal performance. And many studies have shown that a positive attitude affects performance in a good way, whilst having a negative attitude actually lowers performance in every way. So, just thinking about this and the steps that I'm going to go through with you today, it will probably be a self-reflection on me and how I used to actually be. So I grew up very much in an element of self-comparison, never feeling good enough, always wanting what someone else would have, jealousy. I was always trying to strive to be better than everybody else because I never had that. I never grew up with that, so I took it upon myself to want to have that. But that manifests behaviours that would always seek to criticise others, always put other people down to make myself feel better, that would probably do things to inhibit someone else's learning to make sure that I wasn't giving information to help them. Keeping things to myself, being quite secretive at times to facilitate my own personal acceleration in life, which never actually helped. And this is when, when I started growing and putting time and effort into myself, and self-development was a bit of a realisation that the way that I was being was not constructive to be able to achieve so many goals that I'd set in life. And it was me that was at fault. It was me that was inhibiting myself of being able to fulfill these. And something had to change. And much like a muscle when we train as bodybuilders, attitude is also a habit that needs to be developed and grown and practiced. And I did, and I have, and I've done a 180. I seek to help people now. I don't care about my own personal gain anymore. It's about bringing value to everybody and doing what you can to help others become the best person that they can be, because along that journey as well, that just enhances your fulfillment and your true desire in life. So, how do we manifest this? How do we do this? And how do we harbour a good, positive attitude? So a positive attitude in itself will encourage constructive thinking. It will increase massively your optimistic outlook on life. I can tell you that now. I've been told too many times that I'm too positive in lockdown. And that is bullshit. That is you that is choosing to look at the negatives in life and letting that manifest. Once you start going down that rabbit hole of negativity, it's very, very hard to come back out. So you'll also find that you've got a lot more energy, motivation, intention and focus for actually achieving your goals. And if it's the right goal, you'll just find that you become immersed. Like, I can lose time. I could lose days if I wanted to, just sat learning and enhancing my business. If only I could. So yeah, even in certain times, we can choose to have a positive attitude. It's down to choice. I'm sorry, but it is. So let's have a look at some things we can have a look at. So number one would be to expect success. And this goes for everything that you do. So remove yourself down, just go for it and push forward with your dreams. you know, if you put yourself into a goal and you are automatically thinking, what if I fail? Thinking the worst of everything, thinking what if this happens, that happens, overthinking everything, you're not going to get there. You just need to know that you can achieve it, and you need to expect that you're going to get there no matter what. You know, you're going to find ways around things. So number 2 is look for inspiration. So you need to surround yourself with positives, and you need to also open your mind to see them. So if you're in a place, and I suppose social media is a good place to start, if you're constantly surrounding yourself with social media that would harbour negative thoughts about yourself, then you're not going to be looking outside, you know, in terms of your actual environment around you for other positives. You're automatically going to, your brain's just instantly going to detect the negatives of everything going on around you. Anything that anyone says to you, you're going to perceive it in that negative perception of what that person actually means without seeking to understand. So looking for that inspiration all around you, and it literally can be, you could just be walking outside, you could just sit on a bench and look at the wildlife around you, you can look in the sky, you can look at the families around you, it doesn't matter. You can seek inspiration from whatever the fuck is around you. And far too many people are more concerned with what they don't have than what they do have. So the next step would be to build perseverance, and a positive person with a positive attitude will persevere through the hard times. Regardless, you know, they will carry on that path to ensure success. And if you're a person that tends to be discouraged when the shit gets tough, then you've got to start learning to push through and start to seek the reasons you're doing things. You need to look at the outcome at the end of this, of what you're going to feel, what your thoughts are going to be, the perhaps, you know, those around you who it's going to bring value to and intention to, of is it going to help your family, is it going to help you find more opportunities in life. You really need to focus on the feelings that are associated to the outcome, rather than each individual little thing that you've got to do and perhaps that you fail at and you stumble at. No, you just got to keep going, girl. Sorry, I'm just gonna, something's about to fall. So number 4 would be to open your eyes to opportunities, and this ties back into looking for inspiration. That was number 2. So the old saying of when one door closes, another one opens, and it is so true. There's been so many times now that as a positive attitude person that I am now, that as soon as something does happen, I think, oh shit, maybe it was for the best, you know, and I don't now overthink things. Like, fine, it's happened. Not ideal, but move on. I generally will reflect to look to see what I can learn from that. If there is anything to take away, what could I have done better next time? But learning to grow and harbour that growth mindset automatically seems to destroy other positive opportunities. And usually I used to be such like a person that if something negative happened, like I said with the spiral, I just find myself going down this rabbit hole of shit. If everything just felt like a knock and a blow from every fucking angle, and I just didn't stand a bloody chance. And that was my own doing, and I can't believe I wasted so many years being like that, man. It could anger me, but I'm here now and I'm learning, and I'm putting what I've learned to positive use. So yeah, when you focus on the positive, you'll find that more and more positive comes to you as well. And I know that people are skeptic with law of attraction, but there is kind of some element to it. What the brain learns and seeks, it draws more in of that. It learns to find more of that. If you've got negative going on around you, constantly that negative mindset, like I said, you know, anything that anyone says to you or anything that happens, you'll instantly just click to the negative of what that instance is and what that scenario is, rather than think of, okay, well, this is what it is. What can I learn from that? What can I do better next time? And take away some key actions. Think about it. So the next one is to never stop learning. I love this one. This is my favourite. I have never stopped learning. I think even in my dark days, when I've been through like a period of depression and homelessness, I was still learning. We still have phones, right? And you can find anything out on the phone. Just Google anything, watch YouTube videos. I've always been learning. And I think where I've probably fallen in the past is not putting that to action. Whereas now, like even doing videos like this, I'll learn something and I'll make a video about it. So I actually learn more about it and it becomes more verbatim to me. So yeah, it's just always seeking to learn. A positive person will not stop until they are great at something. And, you know, whatever they do, they just become lifelong learners. And everything they need to learn to succeed, they'll go out and find it. They'll just go and seek that knowledge. And if they don't know, they'll find someone that does know, because they're well connected. And they'll surround themselves with more positive people that harbour that same mindset. And then once you hit that goal, they're constantly seeking to progress. What's the next thing? What's the next thing I can learn and give to someone that I can enhance my own learning through? And then everything gets actioned, which equals results. So yeah, you got to get results. So the next thing would be to have belief in yourself. If you believe in yourself, then there is no place for negative self-talk, for self-doubt. You're going to have faith in your abilities and you're going to know that you can do it. You're going to have that belief that you can achieve your goals. Just flip this over. I do have notes just to keep me on track, otherwise I digress too much. So the next one is to become more solutions orientated. Now, again, old me would be seeing a problem in everything. It's a problem. I'm going to put a blockade up. I'm just going to ignore it now. I'm going to walk away. Rather now, I will, as a positive person, seek to understand and seek a solution. So, okay, so that's not going to work for me right now. What would work? What would get me closer to that outcome? So, if I can't afford, say, I don't know, let's look at a ClickFunnel for something that I'm looking into right now. I can't afford to perhaps use ClickFunnels right now, but what could I afford instead? What else is an opportunity and what else is available to me to provide a similar service that would do me right now, and until I'm at the point where I can afford to transfer everything onto a ClickFunnel. So things don't always go to plan, and that is life. You have to accept that things will not go to plan. You know, but you need to accept it, and you need to just see that there's an issue and look to solve it. Don't get deeper into what it was, what the past is. Accept that it is the problem, but it's in the past. But right, what's the step forwards now to progress that? That is known as a high performance habit. Then finally is accepting setbacks. We have to accept the setbacks. So positive people will see setbacks as a way to progress and an ongoing learning. It's not a fail. If you view it as a fail, you are still in a negative attitude. You need to actually progress and grow. And this is actually the area that these setbacks is the most amount of growth you're going to get. I mean, a lot of people now are seeing lockdown as a setback. But if you actually Google and find out of how many businesses were set up that have become entrepreneurs, millionaires now from previous, not lockdowns, but what's the word, economic downturns that we have. The word's gone out of my head. Recessions. There we go. Previous recessions are the guys that are absolutely flying now. So everything that's kind of sent to us in terms of what we're putting, like, yeah, we've got a lack of control with some things right now, but what can you control? What could you change right now that could completely spin things when we go back into whatever a normal life will be? It's about grasping and really embracing whatever the hell is going on right now and trying to seek it from a positive perspective rather than no, but it's not that way because this, that and the other and my parents and this and that, and, you know, blaming everything else on people external to yourself. Like, yeah, people are going to get poorly, but you cannot control that. And people are going to lose their jobs. but you can't control that. You might lose your job, but you cannot control the actual loss of the job. What you can control is then the action that you take to find work elsewhere, even if it's in the interim, to keep whatever you need to do, keeping your house afloat. You have the control of what that action is. And the more that you focus on the can'ts, the more you're going to draw in the can'ts, that can'ts behaviour. You're going to attract people that'll just be like can't magnets. Oh, you don't want that in life. You want to completely polar it, get your positives on, push the shit away, and draw in some more positive fresh blood. So with all those, the more that you seek to improve your attitude in all areas of life, you're gonna see success and everything that you experience, and this will transfer into a healthier life, physically, mentally, emotionally, and you're gonna reach your goals quicker. It's inevitable that you're gonna get success. So I'd urge you, I'd implore you to take if you can, 3 of these steps away and apply them to see how you can improve your attitude. Note them down, journal them, make a physical note of what that is going to be that you want to work from this video. Because having a great attitude is a choice, and it should be practiced every day. Just like you'd expect a bodybuilder would train most days to enhance and improve their physique. Mindset, it needs practicing every single day, and attitude is no different. So, with that, I'll let you take your 3 takeaways away. I'd love to know below what you'd love to take away from this and the actions that you're now going to take. And don't forget to become your own supreme minority. Have a great day and enjoy your weekend.